Alright guys, here's a video I didn't really want to have to do on my truck. So ever since I bought it, freaking kids basketballs under here. Yeah. Get out of there. But ever since I bought it, I thought the transmission shifted a little bit soft in places. Reverse, I think it chattered on me a couple times. So the transmission has finally gone out. It's not completely out. It runs and drives. I've been driving it. So it will run in first, second, third is real soft and weak, and fourth is okay. And then reverse is real soft and weak. And I have the feeling if I start it up right now, it might not even back up. But it's actually kind of weird. If you get it into third, going down the road for a little bit, then it seems like it backs up a lot better. So if you back it into a spot and you can pull out and run through the gears, get through third, then it'll back into places. But so it's the direct clutch is started to leak internally. There's no fix for that other than replace it. So I'm gonna load it on the trailer and take it down to a shop. All right, we'll see if she'll back up even. It's kind of on a downhill slope, so yeah, I expect. Yep, backs up just fine. At least on this slope. We'll pull her around to the shed driveway and get ready to load it onto the dump truck and trailer. So, I mean, it runs fine. It doesn't flare going into third either. It just hangs there. And you can just tell it's slipping, and if you do that enough, you'll see the temp gauge start to creep up pretty quickly. So you can tell it's definitely slipping in third. I put some Lucas transmission fix in there, and that has helped greatly to make it a lot more drivable. It really thickens the transmission oil up. See, I haven't gotten it into third yet, so reverse is still really weak right now. And it'll actually almost stutter. It's like the clutch is engaging and slipping, engaging and slipping. As you can pretty well tell that it actually skipped the tires there in the gravel for a quick second, but then it let go. So, let's see, we're gonna park out here in the yard. So it will back up. It's just you got to be real soft, real easy, and it's got to be flat. Because if I lived in an area with hills and had to back up a hill, it would not back up a hill. It doesn't really want to. If I hold the brake, just barely. It doesn't. There, it kind of stuttered and grabbed. If you're having an issue where reverse kind of stutters or just real soft, but third's also affected, that's going to be your direct clutch. If it's just reverse, it's usually that reverse band. It may be a servo pin lengthened, could fix that. And then third, I think when you pull it down to third manual, like third manual pulls in another clutch in the transmission that gives it a little more grab, so I have ran it around town manually shifting it. So, but this is the 4L80E. Alright guys, so what am I going to do here? I looked for a place to get this thing rebuilt. I have not been able to find a transmission shop that would return my call that would actually rebuild it. I've had a couple more local guys that I know rebuild stuff because my neighbor over there, he's had a couple rebuilt. He knows a guy. I called that guy. He never would return my call. I think he's just too busy, doesn't know me good enough. And a couple other transmission shops that did return my call said a rebuild was going to be 6 or 7 weeks out. So that was just too much. The remans swaps, I've been quoted $5,100 for basically a stock reman. And I shopped around. I found a performance transmission shop here local that they deal with the TH400, which is the predecessor to the 4L80. They build race transmissions. Called them, they said they don't really mess with the 4L80s, but they did recommend a shop about an hour away from me in another town. And I called them up, and I'm taking it to them. I just don't have the time. I've got too much going on with the pool. I've got the excavator, new excavator in there bleeding out on the floor. I just got too much stuff to do to try and swap this thing right now by myself. So I'm gonna go pay and have it swapped. It's about, he quoted me $3,200 for a reman with a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty. I don't think that's too bad on a reman. That's torque converter, that's them putting it in, flushing the system and everything, and then the warranty. So I can't complain with that price really. And they were able to get the transmission within, let's see, I think I told them not this week. It was about Thursday, I think I told them, of last week to go ahead and get a transmission on the way. And they messaged me the Thursday of this week and said, it's here. When do you want to get the truck down here for us to swap it? And he told me best days for them would be Tuesday or Wednesday. It's Sunday right now, Father's Day. So I'm gonna go drop the truck off. It'll be ready as soon as they're ready to pull it in. So we'll get her loaded up on the trailer and drag it down to the shop. All right, I like that. That's pretty good weight distribution there, not too much on the front hitch. I'd rather have the pintle hook up, but I just don't have a pintle hitch that's got the right height right now. I need a new pintle hitch for the truck. Well, I almost made it to my destination, and that rattle in the engine started getting a little louder, and it lost all its oil pressure all of a sudden, and here we are, broke down the side of the road. Two pieces of crap that don't move anywhere. Well, the Chevy still runs at least, but yep, the V10 has seen its last days, and it won't start. As soon as it lost oil pressure, I saw the gauge drop. I did shut it off, and I coasted it this far. So we'll have to figure out something to do. All right, guys, dump truck actually fired up, built a little oil pressure, and I was able to pull it forward after unhooking it from the trailer. Well, first thing, I unloaded the truck, and I was able to get the dump truck started, pull it forward. I got a tow company coming after that. I'm gonna try to limp this trailer into town to the Rural King parking lot, probably drop it off, and come back for it later, I assume. I don't know. What a mess, what a mess, what a mess. Aggravation. Well, we made it, finally. Got the truck and the trailer dropped off elsewhere. Truck was able to, the dump truck started. Key in his envelope, drop it off. Make sure all the doors lock. So I was able to hook this up to the trailer, drag the trailer into a local parking lot, and the tow guy towed the truck to that local parking lot. And as soon as we rolled the truck off the rollback, I drove it right onto the trailer. So, sorry I didn't get any of that on footage. Alright guys, we are in the bucket truck going after the trailer and the dump truck now. Same day, just later in the afternoon. The wife and kids came, met me down there. We dropped the Chevy off at the transmission shop, and then we went and grabbed some food, steak and shake, and now we drove back home. So it's about an hour drive each way. So I got tools in the floorboard. We got to change out the hitch on that trailer to match up to the pintle on this bucket, and then we will hook up and drag that truck back home. Alright guys, we made it. Got the bucket down here. Let's get this hitch changed out. Racing the rain. All right, let's try round two. Basically the same chain down configuration as before, which worked well. Hopefully the truck works well. I should have captured, I think my wife's got a little bit of video on it. When the rollback parked here, I rolled the dump truck back and drove it up onto the trailer. Because it will fire up and start right now, it just knocks. So I rolled it back past that and just drove it, I had it neutral, let it idle back or roll back, started it, threw it in drive, drove it up there pretty fast enough that it, when I grabbed the brakes, it, that's from the Chevy tires right there, sliding the tires. And it looks like the old bucket might have a bit of a axle leak right there. Yep. A little bit of oil leaking out of the pumpkin. We'll have to check that later when we get back home. Hopefully we make it. See if that works. I'm sure the tripod's gonna fall over on me. Kick the lights on. Seem to care about that kind of weight back there. Maybe a little slower to get up to speed, but not bad. Not really pushing on it hard at all. Cruising 55. Alright guys, made it home. This is, it's been sitting there a couple days. It's Friday. The trip was on last Sunday, so been a little bit. I just haven't had time to get out here and mess with it. Been a busy week. I did check the engine oil when I got home. After it had good and cooled down, it's still well within the stick, so it never ran low of oil. I haven't put any more in it. So I'm not sure why she spun a rod, other than it's always had that sort of tick to it, or clatter. I'll call it a clatter. Had a bit of a clatter at a certain times. It didn't clatter all the time. I got a buddy who's a mechanic. It didn't, and I've had engines that have spun rod bearings. And it didn't sound like a rod bearing because it would come and go. It would disappear for long periods of time, and then sometimes it would come back. So it apparently did not like the 3,000 RPM that I had it turning pretty constantly, running about 55, 60 is what I was hauling the truck at. So it was spinning about 3,000 RPM with overdrive off. So it obviously did not like that and let me know it. So it did start up. I got it to load itself on the trailer. I didn't have to, the tow company guy was not going to load it on the trailer anyway. He said his insurance did not cover backing it off onto the trailer. So it was going to make my life more difficult anyway. So that's a $200 tow bill that I had to eat just to go about 5 miles. But and then when I got it up here, shut it off, flipping the ramps up, flipped this ramp up first, cleared everything, flipped this ramp up, and as I let it go, just broke the bottom of the tail light off. Just been a bunch of little aggravation lately. But we're gonna fire her up and see if we can back her off here. Alright guys, I don't know how well it'll pick it up. So as you can tell, something in that engine is definitely not happy. Sitting here idling, you cannot hear it knocking. It sounds just like a normal engine sitting here idling. But when you rev it up, and at that, again, where it changes from loaded to unloaded, when it starts making that rod or whatever knock. Or it's a wrist pin or something, I'm not real sure. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I might just buy another dump truck at this point and put this one up for sale, needing an engine. So got some thought to do on this one.